Hey everyone, I'm meteorologist Joe Burgo. I am here. It is the Super Bowl of weather. It is Groundhog Day, and I'll tell you what, it has been an amazing morning here at Central Pennsylvania. The crowd, I'm going to have my photographer just spin a little bit to show you, and I apologize for close-ups there. Look at this crowd that is here. We are wondering if it is going to be a record crowd of 50,000 people for Groundhog Day. That is right. Yes, it is an amazing crowd here. I'll go ahead and have my photographer come on back. Sorry for the quick movement. So, what is going on is all these people have gathered here to find out what Punxsutawney Phil has to say, and in this half an hour we're going to share you a lot of what's going on. So far it's been a cloudy morning. Some snow flurries have come on down. Last night we had about 1.5 inches of snow here at Punxsutawney. Up on the stage we've had entertainment all morning long, and right behind me is the stump. And Phil is sound asleep despite the noise in there. He usually sleeps through this. And coming up in about 15-20 minutes, we have the inner circle. The guys in the top hats will come, they'll knock and rap on Phil's door, and what they'll do is they'll bring him out. He has 2 handlers. They'll bring out Phil. They'll place him on top of the stump, and the president of the Groundhog, Inner Circle Groundhog Club, he will speak to Phil in Groundhogese, and he'll decide which of the 2 scrolls will they read. Will he not see his shadow and there's spring right around the corner, or is there a shadow, which means 6 more weeks of winter? Again, as I mentioned, there's some flurries coming down. There is a good deal of clouds here, and the spirits are pretty high. Okay, and we are going to be finding out what they have to say here soon. But I am joined by my cohorts, Casey and Jordan, who are at the top of this big crowd, and they're going to tell you a little bit more of what's going on here at Gobbler Stomp.
Hey, I hope they're talking to us about going.
I'll tell you what, man, this is a lot of fun to be up here.
A lot of fun to be up here. Casey, it is by far the largest crowd I've ever seen in my 3 years, which is nothing compared to Joe. What do you say?
Nothing compared to my 4 years it's been now, Jordan. But yeah, seriously, I mean, you can't get a real good, you kind of can get a good sense of all the people here, but I don't remember us being backed up as far as we are.
No.
I mean, you literally can't get down there where Joe's at right now. So I heard Joe mention it too. It's the biggest crowd he's seen. You just said it too. I can't remember a time it's been this crowded, but it makes sense. It's the weekend. It's a lot of fun. It's actually not as cold, which is nice.
Yes, it's actually not as cold at all. And I think one of the craziest things I've seen is we're seeing a lot of people from Pennsylvania here. Yeah. Normally get a lot of outsiders as well. But one thing, someone from Japan. I ran into 2 ladies from Japan who said that they've heard about it and didn't think groundhogs were a real thing. And that's why they came out to see, because once they figured out that groundhogs were a real thing, then they wanted to come out and see groundhogs.
They're literally, do they still live in Japan?
Live in Japan, born and raised in Japan.
They just came here to
experience Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania.
And I think that's just what's so crazy and unique about this whole experience, is that most of these people aren't even from Punxsutawney, coming up for the experience.
And I don't know if you've noticed this, walking around talking to people, it's they might not know the person they're standing next to, but they've instantly become family just in like maybe the first hour that they're standing there, just because it's normally cold. People are getting talking and moving, they're dancing, they're singing, and it really brings a lot of people together, this event.
Now we had to come up here obviously 24 hours early.
Yes,
had to come up here. That trip's always fun.
Yeah, and the trip was a little interesting.
A little different this year, wasn't it?
A little different this year. Last year I was here for the entire week, so you guys came and met me. This year, Joe and I were in the Ansley RV together, which was a lot of fun. And you were in another one behind us traveling.
Never driven an RV before, but we got here and we're enjoying our time. It was good. We made it safely in one piece.
Made it safely, and I gotta say, having it on a weekend here makes it so extra special, so that people who may not be able to go, come here during the week, to be able to come out here and experience this once in a lifetime type of an event here. It's amazing.
we are going to we're going to step out for just a quick second, I think.
Yes, we're going to step out for a quick second of all the coverage here from Out of the Shadows here on WTAJ. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to Out of the Shadows here on WTAJ, the premier coverage of Punxsutawney Phil's prognostication. I'm Jordan Tracy alongside Casey Cant.
Yes.
It's almost that time where Phil makes his mighty call.
And that's what we're all here for. You know, the build-up, we talk about it all week. We get ready for February 2nd, Groundhog Day. Phil's been hanging out in his burrow up there. He doesn't like the people dancing around, I don't think. He's like, he wants to stay.
I'm trying to sleep here. I'm trying to
stay. It was like
warm,
you this
guys.
morning when it was like, Jordan, it's time to wake up. You don't want to wake up just yet.
Exactly.
But he is the prognosticator of prognosticators.
The seer of all seers.
The seer, yes, and we're here to see him, and we're most importantly here to get his prediction for this year.
Exactly. You know, it's one of those things where we really haven't had a super cold winter thus far, so maybe we're not so sick of winter. But Phil makes his prediction, and the Inner Circle will tell you he's always right.
Yes.
But we have a little bit of a scientific method to find out how accurate has Phil been. Check it out.
Every year, people from all around the world come to Punxsutawney for a weather prediction by the world's most famous groundhog. It's the age-old question, will we see an early spring or another 6 weeks of winter? And with so many folks traveling near and far, local businesses definitely feel a boost.
It means such a boost in the economy. We'll see probably 30 to 40,000 extra people coming through here this weekend.
It brings people into our town. We need people to come into our town. It's an economic thing.
But just how accurate is Punxsutawney Phil? I asked our meteorologist Christy Shields, who pulled data from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration.
They averaged the national temperature and found that he was only right 40% of the time, which I think you're still better off with a meteorologist, because if you think about it, everyone always jokes, oh, you're 50-50. So 50% is better than 40%.
But almost all of the locals I spoke with say he's always right.
If you're from Punxsutawney, he's always right. You know, sometimes the seasayers may not read exactly what he says correctly, but that's a human error. You know, the groundhog doesn't make the mistake.
Well, almost.
He's not really accurate sometimes, but he brings such a boost to this little town, so we'll keep him.
Accurate or not, there's no doubt that the famous groundhog helps the small central Pennsylvania town. And really, either way, the locals can't complain.
We have lines out the door for hours.
In Punxsutawney, Morgan Koziar, WTAJ News.
And I think that's the thing, is that, and I love that about Punxsutawney and the people that come up here, and the handlers and the Inner Circle. It's not Phil's fault.
Exactly.
His prediction is his prediction. If anything, it's human error.
Yes, it's human error. Shun the non-believers.
Exactly.
How dare they?
That's
Phil is the
exactly
seer of seer, the sages of sages,
He
the
is.
prognosticator of all prognostics.
We are getting even closer, though, and the man that's going to be there for it all front and center, he speaks that groundhogese. At least he's getting better at it. Joe Murgo, take it away, Joe.
They're not, I don't speak groundhogese, but yeah, Phil is getting ready, and we are getting close to the big time. You see they just blew some smoke here. The sky is cloudy at this point in time, which would lead to not seeing a shadow. If he didn't, I think this may be the first time he would not see it 2 years in a row. That has never happened before. So this is a tradition that started on Candlemas Day, February 2nd, the halfway point between the winter solstice and the spring equinox. And on Candlemas Day, they used to use a hedgehog in Europe, but the Germans, when they came to here to Pennsylvania, they used a groundhog, which it was close as they could be. Well, this tradition has been going since the late 1800s. It really took off with the movie in 1993 with Bill Murray, Groundhog Day. That movie, a little different. It wasn't even shot here in Punxsutawney, but the crowd loves it here after that. We're going to talk more and have his prediction coming up after this.
This is like the best part, because we're getting close. The procession's starting to walk down right now, Jordan.
They just announced, they called in, bring in the top hats. So the top hats are now making it down the inner circle, down the path here to make it down to the stage as Phil prepares to make his big announcement of the year. It's his moment.
This is his moment. This is the build-up. This is like the culmination of it. As the procession's a little slow, of course, to get up there, just to kind of increase the build-up. What do you think Phil's feeling right now? It's about that time.
Phil's in there. He's probably doing a couple of push-ups, maybe a little bit. But I got to tell you, it might take the top hats to get down there, the inner circle to get down there, because from my experience walking down back and forth today, it's been incredibly slippery.
Yes.
Absolutely incredibly slippery.
Are right.
So you just have to go with it. You got to take it slow, and they probably have better footwear on than I do.
They might, yeah, yeah, exactly. They are taking it slow. They're making their way down, and
what's great in this moment is this is something the folks who have been out here all night long have been waiting for. The start of the ceremony with the inner circle making their way. Phones are out. People are excited, trying to get a glimpse as you can see kind of the bobbing top heads make it down to the stage to Philsborough.
Well, again, if you've never been up here before, I mean, this all starts, people start getting to this spot 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. This,
some people 2.
Exactly.
I talked to a couple who was here for their 25th wedding anniversary. 2 o'clock is when they came out here.
Early, almost overnight.
Yes.
And so when it gets to this point, you're starting to get really excited.
We're getting word here they are starting to make their way up onto the stage. That means that prediction from Punksy Phil is getting that much closer.
They are
very exciting.
Let's go down to Joe, see what's going on down there.
Joe Murgo is right there by Philsborough. Let's go down to Joe to see what he's seeing.
Hey guys, what is going on right now is the members of the inner circle have made it over to the area, and they're going to make a proclamation soon. I have to tell you, it's going to be a little bit before they have to go through all their introductions first. Let me just tell you, this is my 19th straight Groundhog Day. I have never seen a crowd like this before. It was very hard to get the dancers off stage and the inner circle on stage. They always have a state police escort, but it was very hard. They're still trying to work, all the members trying to work their way to the stage, and as Casey and Jordan showed you, and they are far away from me. This probably will top the 50,000 mark. This is going to be the biggest crowd. And they are going to be doing some introductions here in just a little bit. And everyone is here to find out. 6 more weeks of winter or spring right around the corner. Phil is going to make a proclamation. I'm going to let you hear the inner circle now.
Welcome to Gobbler's Knob, home of Punxsutawney Phil. Our 134th trek. And I think it's fair to say, gentlemen, the largest crowd in the history of Groundhog Day. It's time to get serious about the weather. But first, you're in Punxsutawney, which is a difficult name to spell. In fact, it's so long, we can only put Punxsy Phil, but it's Punxsutawney Phil. So let's spell it so you can go downtown and say you were here. P-U-N. P-U-N. XSU. XSU. T-A-W. T-A-W. N-E-Y. N-E-Y. What's that spell? Punxsutawney. What's that spell? Punxsutawney. Punxsutawney Phil. Punxsutawney Phil. We're going to do something we've never done before. We're going to give you the secret inner circle sign. You can use this throughout today. You can only use it today. You can never use it again. It goes like this. What is this sign? Live long and prosper. This is the sign that you have. Live long like Phil. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to introduce the inner circle members, and we're then going to give them a chance to, we're going to talk to the handlers, and then we're going to get Phil out. Is that what you like? Only Phil knows, is it 6 more weeks of winter, or is it an early spring? We have Doc? Yeah. All right, first I'd like to introduce 2 of our emeritus members, Tom Uberti, Big Windmaker. It's my honor to introduce our former Vice President, Dr. Paul Johnston, who's a decorated World War II veteran. He's 92 years old. fought in the Pacific for your country, and this is his 51st trek. I'm going to pass the microphone to the inner circle. Let them introduce themselves.
Patrick Osakowicz, the Ozone, the Shadow Nose. Tom Dunkel, Shingle Shaker. Welcome to Punxsutawney.
Ron Plotch, a stump warden, and I really, really, really hate winter.
I'm Dan McGinley Moonshine. Nice to meet you all. Jeff Groob, Sky Painter. Looks like more winter's coming in.
Butch Prushnock, the Coal Front.
John Johnston, Chief Health Man. The other Dr. Johnston.
Jory Siriann, Daybreak. Good morning, Punxsy.
Jason Grusky, the Big Chill. Live long and chill.
Butch the Iceman Philipper. Welcome to Punxsutawney. Dave Gelati, the Thunder Conductor. We've been here all morning. Good morning, Punxsutawney. My name's the Rainmaker, one of Phil's co-handlers. Welcome. Everybody, John Griffiths, I'm Phil's other handler, and I swear I've had a picture taken with half of the whole crowd out here. Before the day's out, I want a picture with the rest of you. So.
All right, we're just about ready to get Phil out. If you want to do a selfie or take a picture, now's a good time. Go ahead. All right, I have in here 2 scrolls. One says winter, and one says spring. I'd like to introduce to you the president of the Groundhog Club, Mr. Bill Dealey. Dealey! Welcome to Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, our 134th trek. In just a few moments, we're going to get Phil out. Before we do that, I have to go through a little educational thing here with you. The cane that I am carrying, you're holding in my left hand right now, is a cane that's been passed down from president to president. This cane gives me the ability to speak in Groundhogese. So without this cane, I cannot communicate with Phil. But I do have the cane this morning, and we are going to get Phil out in a few moments and communicate. We're either going to have an early spring or 6 more weeks of winter. What do we want, winter or spring? I don't know what's going to happen here, but we'll go wait and see. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have to wake Phil up. And to wake Phil up, we're going to do a chant. Phil, 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 Phil. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is time that we get serious. You want to unlock the lock? Sure. That's important. Got a key here somewhere. We'll tap the cane, or with the cane, we're going to tap the doors 3 times. AJ and John will get Phil out for the world to see, and then we'll set him on top of the red carpet here and give him the red carpet treatment this morning and see if there's what he says. Gentlemen, get Phil out. I see him.
I see him.
Ladies and gentlemen, Punxsutawney Phil. Jay, let's get Phil on the stump here. We got to do some serious business. Gather around, members of the inner circle. Phil, we got two scrolls here. One is winter, one is summer. What do you think, buddy? Huh? Spring. I don't know. What do you think, buddy? Huh? I don't know. What do you think? The closest one to you? What do you pick? It is set a record. Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. Now this second day of February 2nd, 2020, 02/02/2020, the 134th annual trek of the Punxsutawney Groundhog Club. Punxsutawney Phil, the seer of seers, prognosticator of all prognosticators, was awakened from his burrow to the cheers of thousands upon thousands of his faithful followers from around the world. In Groundhogese, Phil directed the inner circle to his prediction scroll, which reads, "It's a Phil fantastic day in these beautiful woods. Thousands and thousands in the Knob neighborhood. You faithful followers are the best, it's true. Who wouldn't want neighbors just like you? Now my forecast on a day that's a palindrome will cause some to cheer and some to moan. So do I hope you think it's neighborly, for there is no shadow of me. Spring AOB."
There we have it, folks. The first time in history that Phil did not see his shadow. Let me see if I can get Phil to come on by and say hi. John, can I speak to Phil here for a second? Now, Phil, I believe this is the first time you said no spring 2 times in a row. Wow.
Right,
you really feel like things are changing. What do you think about that prognosis?
I'm happy. I'm all for an early spring anytime, Joe.
Yeah, I guess Phil doesn't want to hang out too long in the snow right now.
No. Well, hey, he knows spring's coming. He doesn't mind being out here.
And it's going to be warm this week. Thank you so much, Phil. Any last word? Nah, nothing from Phil. He said his word, everyone. That is it. We made the prognostication. He did not see a shadow. This is the 20th time he did not see a shadow. And the first time, I believe, it was back to back. So Punxsutawney Phil told us that spring is right around the corner. And I'll tell you what, even though snow is falling here at Gobbler's Knob, we have the prognostication that spring is coming up here in the near future. This is the largest crowd in history ever. And now we have about 50,000 people that are going to be working their way back to downtown Punxsutawney. So because of the crowd, they're going to, they are having such a large crowd, they have to go ahead and have some extra things. Not everyone's going to be able to take a picture with Phil, but for the first time ever, Punxsutawney Phil did not see a shadow twice in a row. So you heard it from Gobbler's Knob yourself here. We thank you for joining us, and we'll have your forecast and a wrap-up tonight on WTAJ at 6 o'clock.